This time we'll look at a different approach to comparing benefits and costs that occur at different times. And this is the approach of discounting. This is a much more widely used and much better known approach, although it's a little bit counterintuitive perhaps, because it's essentially the reverse process to the process we looked at last time of calculating interest. Instead of increasing benefits and costs as we move forwards through time, discounting decreases them as we move backwards through time. So as I say, discounting is perhaps a bit less intuitive, but in practice this is the way that economists usually do it. With discounting we calculate the present value of future benefits and costs. If we do it correctly and we do the interest paying approach correctly, then we'll always reach the same conclusions, but we'll do it with different numbers. We'll reach the same conclusion in terms of whether or not the benefits outweigh the costs. Okay, there's a formula for calculating the present value, and it's just the converse of the formula we saw for future value. The present value equals the future value divided by 1 plus r to the power of t, the time frame. So it's very similar, it's just been switched around so that we've got present value on the left-hand side this time. So to evaluate an investment, we convert every benefit and cost to a present value. We subtract the total present value of costs from the total present value of benefits, and if the result of that we call the net present value, and if the net present value is positive, the project is good. So let's look at the net present value. The net present value is simply this formula. It's the present value of benefits minus the present value of costs. Okay, we'll look at the tree planting example again. This is the example we've seen several times. And here are some calculations. The first 4 columns are the same as we saw previously when we calculated the future value. But this time, column 5 shows the discount factor for each year. So this is a factor that we're going to multiply by the net benefits to calculate the discounted present value. So column 6 is the discount factor multiplied by the net benefits, and the net present value is the sum of all those values in column 6. Now, so in this case I've subtracted benefits from costs and then I've discounted. Previously I talked about discounting all the benefits, discounting all the costs and then subtracting. It doesn't matter which order you do it in. I've done it this way in this table because it's a bit simpler, a bit more compressed. In this example, the net present value is $43. So that's equivalent to saying that the final net value after 20 years is $291, which was what we said last time. So I've actually effectively discounted that $291 back to the present value, and I would get $43, just as I have done through this calculation. Now here are the same calculations for the example where we've increased the upfront cost by $150 from $450 to $600. And this time the net present value falls by exactly $150 from $43, which we saw a moment ago, to minus $107. So this increased upfront cost is not a good thing for the project. It means that it's no longer a worthwhile project. And the fact that the net present value has fallen by $150 which is the amount that we've deducted, is because this cost in the first year doesn't get discounted. In year 0, you don't discount any benefits or costs that occur, and the discount factor is 0. If you look across to the discount factor column, sorry, not 0, it's 1. You can see that the discount factor is 1. It gets multiplied by the net benefit, so the net benefit doesn't change. So, in summary, discounting lets us determine the present value of a future benefit or cost. And to calculate the net present value, we calculate the net benefit for each t, we discount it, and we sum the discounted net benefits. Alternatively, we could have discounted the benefits and discounted the costs and subtracted the discounted cost from the discounted benefits, and it would give the same result. So discounting means that the future benefits have to be bigger than the current costs in order to break even. So it's exactly the same as we observed when we were charging ourselves interest on costs and inflating those up to compare those to future benefits. This time we're reducing future benefits and comparing them to present costs, but the same result occurs. The future benefits need to be larger than the present value, the current costs, in order to outweigh them.